Sassy, Toby, Scout, Mr. Scout, of course, and then we got Paige. Hi guys, Russ here from Wilson Land and Cattle Company. I've been getting a lot of questions about winter water and what we're doing to keep water in a liquid state, and I'm going to show you today. It's first day of October, and you know, we need to get prepared because inevitably winter is coming. Before we get started, please subscribe, like, comment, share with a friend, and hit that notification bell. And watch to the end, because we threw the drone up and we took a look at the cover crops, and we flew the drone over where we've been on this cover crop field, and then of course we took it over top the cows. Before we get started on this winter water, just wanted to show you here. Seems like we've been in this field forever. We've been in here probably, so far we've been in here around 20 days. And we have another 5 days worth of grazing in here on 5.5 acres with 80 animal units. They've been in here probably 2 or 3 hours now. 2.5 maybe, not quite 3 hours yet. You can see they're knocking it all down. They knock it all down and then they take these seed heads off because there's a lot of energy in those seed heads. You can see here they actually walked over top of this one here and took the seed head off. Seems like it's taken forever to get across here. Here's a groundhog hole. I was wondering what that circle was. There was a circle on the drone footage a little while ago where all the sorghum sudan grass was knocked down, and what it was is a woodchuck clearing his area. Nice little calf. But there it is. We're still in the cover crop field. We're slowly making it across here, which is a good thing. It's allowing our cool season grasses to recover and grow and make lots of stockpile. And I'll tell you what, we got a ton of it this year. We have more stockpile forage this year than what we've had in the last 2 years, or for as long as we've been grazing. I guess we probably have double the stockpile this year than what we did last year, which is a really good thing. And the cornfield over here really helped with that. And you can see that in the drone footage, the cover crops are coming up in there and looking really good. So let's take these water tanks over. I'm going to show you how we set these up so they're frost free in the winter time, running off of a hydrant and no electricity. Let's hop on over there and get her set up. Lots of crickets. You can hear them. Sounds like it's nighttime here all the time with all the cricket activity we have. We have a lot of cowbirds coming in right now and feeding on those crickets. Before we get the stock tanks out, I wanted to show you this little setup deal that I use to protect the hydrants. It's something that really has helped us, because the cows, they like to rub on these posts and they love to rub on the hydrants, and it merely causes nothing but trouble because they can easily break those hydrants, break the handles off. And before we started doing this, I've had them turn that handle on, and you come out and there's just water running every place because somebody decided that they wanted to take a shower. So 3 posts, short piece of wire, I just wind it up and throw it in the basket of the side by side, and I have 10 or 12 of them with me, and we just make it hot. And if the hydrant's away from electric fence, like, you know, here it's setting in along, most of my hydrants are setting in along the electric fence. And I do want to warn folks, you need to stay approximately 1 foot to 2 feet away. I have some that are right up against this. And if there's a grass or something that's on the hot wire and it touches your hydrant, it can put stray voltage into your water system and the cows won't drink. So beware of that. And let's grab these tanks and get them set up, and I'm going to show you how we get our winter water so it's frost proof. I brought 2 tanks with me today. We're going to unhook the cows for temporary here so we can set this up and show you how it works. Basically, what we're doing is we're taking geothermal heat out of the ground and putting it in the tank to keep it from freezing up. I have folks that's used this setup down to 24 below zero up in Canada. And you know, they get a lot of winds up there. So I imagine the wind chill is a lot less, or a lot more than what we get here in Pennsylvania. Okay, we use this foam insulation. You can get it at any building center. And I think even like Walmart has it. It's just foam pipe insulation. And what we do, so we put it on the upright on the hydrant. Like that. Take a short piece, put it on there like that. And then of course our hose is insulated back to the tank. And you don't want to go more than about 15 feet from the tank. Now the inside of the tank is dirty. We'll clean this up before we give it to the livestock, of course. We have a brass valve in here, and you can see it better in the other tank, and I'll show it to you. I did a video on it. I think it's titled How to Make an Awesome Valve Even Better. So we'll show you that, or I'll put a link up in the top for that. And of course, we always cage our valves, always. Because it's an inevitable that a calf's drinking, a cow come up behind them and push them in the tank and step on it. So that's a potential of breaking a valve. So we always put cages around our valves. Now this tank here is the same as the one the cows are watering out of now. And I brought it over here so you could see this a little bit better. It's just a regular old float valve, and inside here there's a rubber stopper. Whenever our float gets up, it pushes that stopper and stops the flow of water. We used to use the Job valves, and they work really well for water and livestock, but man, them things are getting expensive. And these ones here, we bought them, if you watch, you can get them on sale for about $19 to $21 right now. I think with the brass prices so high, they're up around $29, $30, and I'll put a link down in the description that you can get one of these, and I'll also put a link to the needle valve. And what we're doing is we take and drill a hole onto the pressure side of the valve and tapping an 1/8 inch melt pipe thread so we can screw our needle valve in, and then we can turn this valve on and off as we need it. And the idea behind this is it keeps the water flowing, and then naturally our water that comes out of the ground is 55 degrees, and that 55-degree water makes it to the tank and keeps things from freezing up. And we're going to show this working. One thing that I did change a little bit on these is I've started folding that over and then drilling a little hole right on the top, and then I can point that that stream of water up to wherever the float is in the tank, and it helps keep that area thawed out. This tank here is good down to about 10 degrees Fahrenheit, and then we have to switch over to our insulated tank. And this here is our insulated tank. Has the same valve in it, has a different float, but same purpose. I mean, a float's a float's a float. And the way we made this tank is it's a 55-gallon drum cut in half, and then I put 6 layers of double bubble roof insulation. You can get that at any building center. Put 6 layers around it, and then we put a plywood bottom on it, and then I always put it on skids because you're gonna have water come run back towards your tank, and you'll get a little water underneath, and it's easier to break it off from the ground because the outside water is going to freeze up. And then on the outside of that double bubble, I just split a couple 55-gallon drums and just plated it with protection on the outside of the tank. And then I put a ring around it with handles on it to make it so it's a lot more portable. It's heavier than that tank there, but it's probably weighs less than a 55-gallon Rubbermaid tank. Let's fire this up. I don't know if it's going to give me troubles or not. Every once in a while, if a hose is set empty for a while, I'll get a gob of spider webs in there and it will mess with the valve on it. And you can see here we have an overflow pipe, and we want to shoot that to the back into the other pasture field. That way we don't have water running down and making an ice slick in front of the tank that the cows can't, so the cows don't slip and fall whenever they come to drink. Let's turn it on here and see. Hopefully we're not plugged up, and I'll show you about how fast we run that. The colder it gets, the faster we run it, and it's a lot cheaper to pump water than it is to heat water. And naturally, if we're out here grazing, we can't get electric out here to hook up to our tanks, so this here's the next best thing. And actually electric, you're looking at, an extra $75 bill. At least for me, on my electric company, it's going to vary from where you're located. And a lot of times if there's snow on the ground and the cows aren't lactating, they don't really drink that much per day. They get enough water out of the snow that they eat with their grasses. But we keep liquid water in there just in case they do need it. And then, of course, we've insulated our hose back to the tank. We used to take and put a 55-gallon tank, or a cut-off 55-gallon drum over top the hydrant, but that's not necessary. We found it, this here works well the way it is, and why handle anything more than possible? Now, whenever we're grazing, obviously we can't keep the water with the livestock, so we'll strip graze in the wintertime. We'll strip graze from hydrant to hydrant to hydrant. See, up here, about 200 feet, there's another hydrant. Say we were up there grazing, we would graze down to here until we get to the hydrant, and then we'd move that water tank down here. And that's extremely important when it comes to soil nutrient recycling. The whole idea of this is keeping the livestock out so we can keep those nutrients where they need to be. It makes a huge difference in the overall productivity of your farm. While I'm here and seeing, I'm thinking about this. Look at all the manure, even manure distribution across this field. There's lots and lots of manure. It's pretty cool, actually. And that's where we want it. We don't want it all piled up, say, around that building, or we don't want it piled up in the woods someplace. And we'll probably be doing videos. We have portable windbreaks. Go check that video out. I'll put a link up in the top for it too. It's something it works well in the wintertime to keep these girls out where they need to be. Okay, let's turn this on, and I'm going to show you what we do here. We'll see how it does. Like I said, hopefully there's not a... Okay, so she's flowing there. Naturally your valve's going to shut the water off. And you can see the water starting to flow out of that. And I keep the float low because it takes longer for that water level to come up to where it overflows out your tank. So you're wasting less water. I'm gonna set this to what I normally run it in the winter time, so you guys can see. Nope, I touched the, no I didn't. Okay, you can see there, that's about what we flow all winter long, and you're not wasting a lot of water. It cost us 0.0017 cents per gallon of water to pump water, so it's going to cost us a lot less per month to pump the water versus heating the water. And this is something, like I said, they're using this setup clear up into Canada. They've tested it to 24 below zero. Is there a chance of a freeze up? Absolutely. So, you know, at some point you may have to be digging a hydrant out, but it's still less than a fixed water point. A lot of those fixed water points cost well over $1,000. I can dig that up and replace it for less than $100. And you know, if you don't have the equipment to do it, I mean, you can hand dig that and get it dug out and get it put back in the way it needs to be. This is a setup we're using. I've never ever had any hydrants freeze up because of it. But again, I always check the flow on our valve every night. Make sure we got a good flow going. That's very important. Sometimes, you know, maybe you get a little chunk of dirt or something in it, you need to open that valve up and close it back up. Okay guys, hopefully this video was helpful to you. And I appreciate all the new subscribers. We've got a lot of new subscribers. We did a video with Greg Judy, and a lot of his subscribers are coming over and joining us too. And you know, it's great to, and everybody's so nice. I really appreciate that. So, you know, thank you everyone for subscribing to the channel. And if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. It's very important to us and help us with our rankings and the algorithms with YouTube. Hit that notification bell to whenever we post new videos. We've been posting 2 videos a week. Normally we only post 1 video, but we've had a lot of extra videos, so we've been doing 2 a week now for, I don't know, probably close to 2 months or so, and hopefully we can keep that up. Hopefully the video is useful to you. We'll talk to you later, and have a great day.